This is the ammo transfer holding point, is ATHP. It is the ammo redistribution point for the 2nd Brigade Combat Team. We hold the ammunition ABL resupply, training ammo, turn-ins. We receive turn-ins as far as bad items coming in from combat outpost set for DMIL. Pretty much we conduct sustainment operations and support the responsible drawdown for the U.S. pulling out of Iraq and all that entails. But this is pretty much the ammunition break point for the western side of Baghdad, pretty much. All the different combat outposts and locations that are out there have little collections of ammo that have accumulated throughout the years, and the battalions get accountability of it in conjunction with our logistical assistance teams. Repackage it, see if it's safe to transport. If it's not, they demilitarize it right on site. If it's safe for transport, they recommend storage and transportation techniques and safety procedures. Ship it back here, and then we break. It's like a break point here, meaning we identify whether or not it's serviceable, unserviceable. A lot of times it doesn't have a nomenclature or identifying markings. So what we do is, if in that case, we assign it something called a local lot number. It'd be like a hammer information. Enter it into SAS mod, and then bring it to record with sustainment brigade and division, and then whether it's serviceable or unserviceable will dictate where it goes. Where, you know, even myself, when I was in 11 Bravo, I used to do this as well as extra protection so the pin doesn't get caught on anything. But what happens is when you tape the pin, when you take this tape off, there's a chance, even though some people would say it wouldn't, the pin can come out, and people have actually lost fingers, lost a hand with stun grenades. This is an incendiary grenade. It basically burns enough to melt metal. So you can see where it'd be a little dangerous taking the tape off on these. So these will go into a DMIL pile to get blown up by EODT. Somebody delink this and then try to relink it. So you have ball, tracer, ball, and then I don't even know what this is. What's this gray one?
Armor piercing.
Yeah, armor piercing ammo that, of course, on a regular, typical standard belt won't come like this, but people probably delinked it, then relinked it to just so it's a belt of ammo. But my guys are trained enough to know that this makes it unserviceable, so this also will get blown up. Every ammunition that gets turned in, which becomes billions, no, I mean, it's got to be close, hundreds of millions of rounds, will actually come through here, and then one to two, three of my 12 guys will inspect it, verify it, deem it serviceable or unserviceable, and then put it to its destination, whether that be EODT for DMIL, or put it back in the system, load it back up, like you saw before with the block and embracing, to ship back out to Kuwait or Afghanistan. A lot of people that work at, that have turned in ammunition up at in CONA stations like Fort Drum or Fort Bragg or Fort Campbell probably recognize a table like this. Part of what we have to do is a lot of units will turn in residue, expended rounds, whether that be small arms or hand grenades, missiles, whatever it is. Part of our job is to, before we ship this out to the Army Material Command, or AMC, we have to inspect this so there's not any live rounds. A lot of times there'll be a bucket of brass in here, and at first glance it looks like it's good to go, but then when you go through it, you'll find a slap round in there used to penetrate armor. What they do with this brass is they send it back to the plant, do what we do, and then melt it down to basically make more brass and more ammunition. So you can understand where if something like that was found in there when they melted it down, how somebody back in the United States could get hurt. We have to go through all these links at one point were dumped out on that table to be sifted through to make sure there's no live ammunition in there. Old Iraqi weapons that end up getting demilled, the barrels will get blown up or the chambers destroyed. units turn in ammunition and weapons like this. As you can see, the chamber just gets ripped in half, whether with det cord or shock tube or something like that. But it finds our way here. We end up sending this stuff out too. Yeah. It looks kind of cool, but all these have been melted or demilled. You can see where the metal's actually been melted there.
Those are all Iraqi?
Yeah, captured enemy weapons and ammunition come here as well. The live ammunition being brought back in from the combat outpost. Once that's done, we'll focus our attention more towards this. You know, anybody can pretty much send this stuff out. It's all prepped and ready to go to wherever the Army needs it. These are all tank round holsters. RS missiles from 141 FA, all the 2nd BCT units that are stationed here on Hammer.
We issue and receive all the ammunition for theater around here. On top of that, we refurbish, repack, inspect, a lot of stuff to be done with it. A lot of it's just meticulous, tedious stuff that we have to worry about. Make sure that we're checking, double checking, rechecking. Almost too easy for little things to slip through the cracks. 10, 11 of us for the 3,500 people in the brigade. Enemy forces are getting a hold of our ammunition and using it against us. So once again, millions of rounds that we don't want to leave behind, we don't want anybody else to have.
Pretty much this receiving, shipping of ammunition. We send groups out to inspect other JSSs and FOBs, make sure their ammo is good to go to bring here, and then from here we ship it out to wherever it needs to be. If we send something out bad, you know, someone might use it against the enemy and it not work properly. It's tedious. You know, you have to pay attention to detail to every little thing, even if it might not seem that big. Without us, munitions would be everywhere. I wouldn't want anything to get in the wrong hands, so it's good that it leaves the surrounding area and comes here.
Stuff that's 9 years old, covered in rust, we can't fix it, so, and it ends up getting thrown away, getting blown up. Yeah, 7.62 stuff.
Majority of these come without safety pins, right here, majority do. These one do, because we have to get ready to, there was no safety pin in there, but we had to get ready for the blow, so, and they need a safety pin for this. This is like a small amount of what we had. We had these 3 containers full with stuff. Even though this is practice too, it's a practice 120 round, it still don't have a safety pin either. So basically we either demel it or ship it out so they can fix it for us.
Practice just means it shoots out without exploding.
Oh.
So that's all they use to practice. We'll shoot it with one, but it won't go as far. So if we try to hit a target further, it probably won't reach there. So that's a safety hazard too.